So we're going to draw the Anasazi Adobe Village inside a cliff today. I'm super excited about this. And it's really easy because it's a lot of lines and squares and rectangles. So let's start by drawing our ground line. And you want to draw it pretty rough and rugged. This is a pretty sketchy drawing. Okay. Now we're going to make an arch for the opening in the cave. So what I like to try to use a light stroke so that I can sketch it more and then they don't show if I make a mistake. Okay, you have your opening in your cave. So now we're going to start to build our cliff with our pencil, and we're just going to make simple lines to get that rough shape, kind of broad strokes. And then I'm going to bring those lines down, and I'm going to try to make it look like a rock. So once those lines are down, I'm going to draw lines across and kind of connect them. So it's really just a pattern, but once we use those watercolor pencils, it will darken it up and the rocks should come to life. So now that we have that and we have our little formation, it's all sketchy, we're going to start to draw our village. And actually, I'm going to put some lines down here because the ground plane was also part of kind of rugged. So now put some lines down here. Kind of connect them like they would be rocks, like you did up here. So not zigzags as much as straight lines. They're just kind of like, okay. Let's try like going like this more. All right.
Just like marking the paper?
Not really, more like rocks. Okay, so inside our cave opening would have a little bit of depth, so I'm going to thicken up my line here. Now the great thing with going back over it with watercolor pencils is you can cover up your mistakes. So now we're going to start to build our village. So I'm going to start in the middle here and just make a rectangle. And then for my roof, I'm going to double it up. And I'm going to make one a little taller next to it and a little bit shorter, and we're just kind of creating different heights that they had for these villages. But the key is to keep straight lines while we do it. So now I'm going to build on top of this one. Let's see how you're coming on. Very good. So try to keep your lines straight. So let me show you a little technique that you might want to do. So you just go down, down, across the top. So instead of trying to do it all with one stroke, you go down, down, across the top. And that helps you keep straight lines. And there you go. That looks really good. And then we want to leave a little bit of space at the top so that we can add in the darkness that you have in the cave. This part makes it look like it's going back inside. So now I'm going to go back through and thicken out my roof lines. And then I'm going to draw in my windows. So some of these buildings have three, the taller ones, and I use that same technique. I don't usually do a square in one motion. I do pick up my pencil a couple times just to keep it straight. And then these windows will color in black when we use our watercolor pencils. So I think you get the idea, and we're going to finish up our drawings and then we'll show you how we're going to watercolor them.
We hope you have a creative